Tonight, a recent power struggle erupts within Super Earth High Command, and the Helldivers rally together to save Super Earth from this new internal threat. United, we stand. We begin tonight by summarizing the situation with a truism. If you're going to recruit millions of die-hard soldiers, train them to stand together in the face of overwhelming odds to complete singular tasks even unto death, and then arm them with obscene amounts of heavy ordnance, you should try very hard to not piss them off. But to fully appreciate tonight's top story, we must first look at a brief history of the Helldiver recruitment program. After the First Galactic War, the Helldivers became revered by citizens across the galaxy, so much so that the Ministry of Defense was able to fill the required ranks purely by volunteers enlisting for military service. However, over time, Super Earth High Command noticed that the patriotism index for these recruits was inversely proportional to the distance between Super Earth and their home system. Helldivers recruited from the Outer Rim systems made excellent soldiers, but they tended to display more loyalty towards their home system rather than Super Earth. To therefore monitor their loyalty more closely, recruits from the Outer Rim systems were implanted with a patriotism index monitor that closely tracked all Helldiver actions on and off the battlefield. Due to early budgetary constraints, recruits from the core systems were not implanted with the PIM, but were instead required to complete a regular loyalty and patriotism assessment. Eventually, the LPA test was expanded to all Helldivers, with and without the PIM implant. This practice has continued for almost a century, until now. Just under a week ago, Super Earth High Command issued a statement declaring that all Helldivers would be retrofitted with the PIM implant regardless of their home system. Helldivers that refused to accept the implant would be stripped of their rank, dishonorably discharged, and exiled back to their home system without benefits or hazard pay. The Helldivers from the core systems immediately took this as a personal affront, seeing it as an attack on their loyalty and patriotism. They, of course, demanded to know why this was suddenly necessary. The initial response from Super Earth High Command was a vague one, implying that consistency of monitoring across all ranks was appropriate. It is at this point that we must turn to a parallel story that unfolded here on Super Earth. Our sources at the Ministry of Defense have revealed that all of this was part of an ongoing power struggle within Super Earth High Command. While details are sketchy, we can confirm that there was an internal play for power by a corporate shadow group known only as the Sons of Notoriety. From what we understand, this group has, Seriously? This group is almost single-handedly responsible for bringing down the war effort, and that's the best name they could come up with? From what we understand, this group has their own plans for the Helldivers, and the widespread monitoring of all military personnel is the first step. Additionally, and for reasons that are not clear to us, Super Earth High Command also issued a statement indicating that about 30% of all galactic systems would no longer be eligible for Helldiver recruitment, and current troops from these systems would be discharged from service. As a result, military funding to these systems would cease over the next month. Unsurprisingly, the backlash from the Helldivers was swift and fierce. Many Helldivers were deeply insulted by what they viewed as a betrayal and a lack of trust by Super Earth. And Helldivers from the suddenly ineligible systems were enraged by the prospect of being discharged without further pay. Within 24 hours, almost the entirety of the Helldiver ranks began to revolt, and reports of mass desertions became widespread. Hundreds of thousands of Helldivers appeared to intentionally fail their loyalty and patriotism assessment, skewing the galactic-wide patriotism index into the red for the first time in decades. Even those Helldivers from unaffected systems chose to stand with their brothers and sisters in solidarity, and the Galactic Comms Network was inundated with the slogan, "We dive together or not at all." It quickly became obvious that while the Helldivers' loyalty to Super Earth was strong, their loyalty to each other was absolute. The Ministry of Defense, fearing the effects of losing almost the entirety of the Helldivers, or worse, an armed uprising, began to pressure Super Earth High Command to reverse course and resolve the matter. Within a few days, Super Earth High Command also saw the wisdom in placating the fiercest fighting force in the galaxy and issued a statement indicating that the implementation of the PIM implants would not be moving forward. Is this the end of the story? Probably not. But the Helldivers have achieved something previously thought impossible, changing the mind of Super Earth High Command. This is a historic moment that will undoubtedly become legendary. For our part, we salute our brave Helldivers for standing together and standing strong. Their victory is a shining example of what we should be willing to do to protect managed democracy. We are happy to report that the Galactic Patriotism Index is once again strong, and our Helldivers are back on the job. Indeed, the war effort against the bots and the bugs would have been in dire jeopardy without the brave men and women of the Helldivers, and we can once again sleep well knowing that they continue to protect us without question and without fear. And that is tonight's broadcast of News from the Front. Good night, and may liberty prevail.